There are plenty of great headphones that are $350 and below, namely the Sony 1000XM2, Bose QC35 Series 2, and the Bass Studio 3s. Alright, that last one was a joke. But sometimes you just want something nice. You might want something with better materials, or you just might want something with better sound. And if you go up market a little bit, then the Sennheiser HD1, Bowers And Wilkins PX, and the Bang And Olufsen H9i are all some popular options. This is the Premium Headphone Showdown. Just so we're clear, this isn't a full review on either of these headphones. I'm just pointing out the most important differences between them so I can help you with your purchase decision. If you want to learn more about either of these headphones, then watch their full reviews. The Bowers and Wilkins PX currently retails for $399.99 and they were released in the fall of 2017. They are also the most affordable headphones in this lineup. The Sennheiser HD1s retails for $499.99 and they're the oldest headphones here. Now, I decided to go with the HD1s over the Sennheiser PX C550 because I feel those should be compared with the Sony 1000XM2 and Bose QC35. And then there's the Bang & Olufsen H9i, which also retails for $499.99 and were released in January 2018. If you want to pick either of these headphones up, I'll have links in the description below, and if you use the links, it really helps out the channel. Okay, let's get some simple but important stuff out of the way first. Both the PX and H9i have a USB-C port for charging, while the HD1 has a micro USB port because remember, they are the oldest headphones here. And all three of these headphones can be connected to two devices at the same time. So life is a little easier if you constantly switch from your phone to your computer on a regular basis, like I do. All of these headphones have a wireless range of about 30 feet, but I noticed the wireless connection on the HD1 was the least stable. It would stutter from time to time and the connection would be even less stable with the single wall between the headphones and my phone, whereas the PX and H9i didn't suffer from these problems. But if you wanted to use these headphones with a wired connection, both the H9i and PX have easily accessible 3.5mm audio jacks, while the HD1s have a not so easy to reach 2.5mm audio jack. So finding a replacement or better quality audio cable for the HD1 will be a little harder for the audiophiles out there that still prefer to use a wired connection. Okay, let's talk about these headphones' materials and design. Let's start off with my least favorite, the Sennheiser HD1. With the HD1s, you get a leather headband with very little padding, a stainless steel frame, plastic ear cup covers, and leather ear pads. I know design is subjective, but I just don't like how the HD1s look. Gordon Ramsay might say they look rustic, but to me they look like prototypes. The Bowers and Wilkins PX also have a stainless steel frame, a tight fabric weave covering the ear cups and headband, and leather on its ear pads and underneath the headband. And if you do decide to pick up the PX, keep in mind the leather does need a bit of a break-in period. And the H9is have cowhide leather on their headband, a brushed aluminum frame, fabric underneath their headband, and lambskin leather on their ear pads. I think the H9is are the most premium feeling headphones here, but I think the PX are the best looking headphones here. The only thing I don't like are those random cylinders on the frame. Comfort is very important to take into consideration when choosing headphones, and plainly said, the PX are the least comfortable headphones here. I have to give myself a pep talk every time I'm going to put the PX on. They have a lot of clamping force, so they are not big head friendly. They also weigh the most here, coming in at 335 grams. The HD1s are the lightest headphones here, weighing in at 260 grams. They fit just fine, but I always feel like they're going to fall off for some reason. The ear cups on the HD1s also apply some pressure on the top portion of your ear, which is something I've never felt before with other headphones I've tested. I also noticed that every few minutes I have to go and readjust the ear cups on the HD1s, and the ear pads on the HD1s heat up the fastest here as well. The H9is weigh in at 290 grams and I feel they're the most comfortable headphones here. The ear cups apply even pressure and I genuinely forget they're there sometimes. The only drawback on the H9i are the low profile circular ear cups. If you have bigger ears, then your ears might feel a little cramped or the bottom portion of the padding might rest on your earlobes. The padding does rest on my earlobes, but I don't notice it after a few minutes. The PX and HD1s have oval ear cups, so they do a better job of encasing your ears and they give your ears a lot of room. But the ear cups on the PX are much more spacious, so they give your ears that extra room to twitch around when the music starts tickling your eardrums. But remember, the PX will only fit people with smaller heads. Although the H9i are very comfortable, they also have the worst battery life here. With ANC and Bluetooth turned on, the H9i typically averages 20 hours of playback time with the volume set at 50%. Under the same conditions, the HD1s get about 23 hours of playback time, and the Bowers and Wilkins PX manages to squeeze out 24 hours of playback time. But with ANC turned off, the H9i get about 24 hours of playback time, and the Bowers and Wilkins PX get about 30 hours of playback time. But the ANC on the HD1s can't be turned off. The only way you can use these headphones without noise cancellation is if you use them passively with a wired connection. When it comes to noise cancellation on these headphones, they all perform differently, but none of them perform as well as the Sony 1000XM2. Seriously, if ANC is your top priority, get the Sonys. The Sennheiser HD1 has the least amount of cabin pressure here, but it also has the worst performing ANC here. The ANC on the PX has a little more cabin pressure, but it does manage to perform a little better as well. The ANC on the H9i has less cabin pressure than the PX, but they also perform the best here. The ANC on all three of these headphones do a better job of blocking out constant sounds like road noise, but they all struggle a bit when blocking out more random high-pitched sounds like people talking. But with the Bowers and Wilkins PX, you can control how much noise cancellation you want. If you wanted to, you can make them pump in all of the surrounding sounds even while you're playing music. So if you're walking around in the city, you can still be aware of your surroundings. It's kind of like having open back headphones in the sense that you can hear both your music and the ambient sound. Regarding sound quality, all three of these headphones sound really good, as they should, but they do have their minor differences. The Sennheiser HD1s have more kick behind their bass, and they have a little more emphasis on the treble. Vocalists are front and center with these headphones. The Bowers and Wilkins PX are all about soundstage, and they manage to have a very wide soundstage without sounding like you have your head in a bucket. The lows resonate a lot, and they will make your ears twitch, but the PX do have a flat sound signature, so they don't have a lot of kick behind their bass. And then there's the Bang And Olufsen H9i, and I feel they're a bit on the warmer side. No matter how much I play around with their app, I can never manage to bring the vocalists out as much as the HD1s. You can also adjust their soundstage through their app, but if you widen it too much, then everything starts to sound muddled. They have more kick in their bass than the PX, and the lows resonate as much as the PX, but you don't get the same ear twitching effect like on the PX because of the H9i's cramped ear cups. The H9i's are headphones I tend to listen to at lower volumes when I'm getting work done. I think the PX has the best sound here, but I still like to listen to the HD1s when I just want to jam out. But I do need to point out that both the PX and H9i sound very different when their noise cancellation is turned on or off. When their ANC is turned off, their sound stages are wider and their lows get deeper. When ANC is turned on, their sound stages tighten up a bit and the lows aren't as impressive. I typically try to listen to these headphones with ANC turned off. But now let's talk about these headphones app because they're all very different as well. Let's start off with the HD1s because they don't really have an app. Sennheiser recommends you use their CapTune app, but in 2018, it's mostly useless. It doesn't let you adjust any settings directly on the HD1s like their ANC or EQ settings. If you play music through the CapTune app, you can adjust the EQ, and that EQ setting will affect whatever device your phone is connected to. If I wanted to, I could use CapTune with the H9i's, but CapTune doesn't work with any streaming services aside Tidal and whatever songs you have stored locally on your device. The PX's app allows you to toggle noise cancellation on or off, and you can adjust how much noise cancellation you want as well. And through the app, you can also turn the built-in proximity sensors on or off. But you can't adjust the EQ settings of the PX from here. And for the most part, B&W's app has remained unchanged since the PX launch. And then there's B&O's app, which allows you to control your EQ settings, and that's pretty much it. But I just feel both of these apps should give you more control over your headphones like Sony's app. You should be able to control your headphones EQ, ANC settings, and proximity sensor settings straight from their app. Now, both the Bowers And Wilkins PX and Bang And Olufsen H9i's have proximity sensors built in. So when you take your headphones off, they automatically pause your music, and when you put them back on, they'll start playing your music again. Now, the proximity sensors on the Bang & Olufsen H9i work way better than the ones on the Bowers & Wilkins PX. On the PX, I typically keep this feature off because they'll randomly start playing or pausing your music sometimes. And it is very annoying when you're really into a song and then out of nowhere the PX just pauses your music. Now, I've played around with the sensitivity of the proximity sensors, but it still happens. Now, even though the proximity sensors on the H9i work very well, I still keep this feature off because I just don't want my headphones to start playing music at max volume every time I put them on. Both the H9i and PX also have features that allow you to talk to people without having to fully take your headphones off. On the H9i, when you swipe up on the touchpad, the headphones will pause your music and pump in all of the ambient sound. This is that little gesture I did in the last clip. B&O calls this transparency mode, and this method is pretty sleek because both of your hands are free, and when you swipe up on the touchpad again, the headphones will start playing your music again. On the PX, when you lift either of the ear cups, they'll pause your music, and when you put them back down, they'll start playing again. But B&W's method isn't as sleek because one of your hands is full, and in order for this feature to work, you have to keep the proximity sensors turned on.
Navigate the fluid boundary between the real and the irreal, the latter of which is a concept in
Next up are these headphones controls because they're very different as well. All of these headphones let you control your music playback and adjust the volume, no problems there. The H9i's have a touchpad so you can also toggle your noise cancellation and transparency mode on or off with a single swipe up or down. The touchpad works well, but there are failed attempts here and there. It happens rarely, but it happens. The HD1s have a toggle on its right ear cup and it's very easy to find and it's very easy to control. The PX has dedicated buttons and I love the way they feel. They look great, they're easy to tell apart, and they have great tactile feedback. I just wish the center button had a little knurling on them. And finally, here are some small but important features to take into consideration. If you haven't noticed by now, the Sennheiser HD1s come included with what I think is the best carrying case here. The PX and H9i just come with pouches. And the battery on the H9i is removable, so if you ever get to a point where the battery on the H9i can't hold a charge anymore, you can just simply replace the battery instead of just throwing out your $500 headphones. Okay, let's wrap this video up. Even though I really do like how the Sennheiser HD1 sound and how lightweight they are, I don't think they would be the best investment right now in most cases. I'm just not a fan of their design and their ANC isn't the best. I think the Bang & Olufsen H9i are the safest option here for most people. They sound great, they're extremely comfortable, and their ANC is pretty good. And they have the most features here as well. But I think the Bowers & Wilkins PX are the best sounding headphones here. Their soundstage and sound quality is amazing, but their ANC isn't that good, their proximity sensors are very finicky, and again, they aren't that comfortable to wear. That's why I feel the Bang & Olufsen H9i are the safest option here. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It helps out more than you realize. For more product reviews and deal alerts, check out jimcaddy.net. If you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt, and I'll catch you next time.